Hello, everyone out there. I am Imperatordavius,
I'm Dr. Fluttershy,
and welcome back to
another
Tactical Debate. Joining us live for our second actual debate, not counting the last one or last two videos, but today's Tactical Debate. Joining us today is MelonLord. Hi, welcome to the show, MelonLord. Nice to have you here.
Nice to have you here, MelonLord.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, MelonLord. Now, just so everyone out there who's watching, who knows who you are and knows I'm not just talking shit out of my ass here. Why don't you give us all just a little description of your competitive experience and your past experience.
A little description.
Yeah, just something short, just so we all know you're not just some random pub player I brought in.
Yeah, well, I guess I started out in Season 9 Silver. We won second place, moved up to Gold, spent 3 seasons there, and then I moved up to Platinum and played for a little bit before kind of falling up into a backup spree and as I got serious with school. But I did play
nice.
Platinum with that league for quite a while.
So you hear that, people? She's a Platinum player. Listen to her. All right. Now, how do you feel about, now just to get the opinion out of the way, how do you feel now that Pyro won the war? Sad face.
To be honest, I was a little bit nervous about Pyro's influence in the war. I knew either way they were going to get some really big changes as part of some big competitive rework, which has been something that I think a lot of us have been wanting for a really long time.
Yeah, that's a lot of surprise.
Yeah, I guess in one way you could say it's a little bit overdue, but I'm a little excited now that Valve has, we had a webpage called with Pyro, I think it was called From Pyro with Love. And on that page, we went over a lot of little changes that, kind of things to us that we felt were broken about the class for a really long time. And this isn't necessarily like, the class needs to be reworked in general, and these are the changes that should be made.
Spike and face stab. Please fix after 12 years in development. P.S.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Get rid of Spy.
It's stuff like that, though. It's like things that are little, but they've been around, and in a way, they're very broken to us. So, for instance, when you reflect something while a teammate is passing through you, the rocket will go in a different direction. That has been in the game forever.
Those are the fun things about the game that make it worth it. I mean, they make it like, what's up? Oh, inconsistencies. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's move this show along because we're starting to drift away from the actual topic. Yes, you can. Believe me, I know you can go on all night, but we don't have all night. I know. So, future weapons. Let's actually get into that. Pyro's got. I mean, I'm not gonna trash the heavy, but he deserved that win. I'm not gonna say anything. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, team heavy. But Pyro's tools. Let's look at Pyro's toolbox. Let's just open up his toolbox. All of his various flamethrowers. I mean, he's gotten. Let's see. He's got 4 flamethrowers, not counting the stock, and each one's. I think it's 4. Is it 4? Correct me. Is it 4? I mean, you're the Pyro expert here.
4. Gosh, I'm trying to think. We've got the backburner, the flog, the stock, and the degreaser. But I was trying to think of something else. I mean that's basically it. Aside from reskins, I'm totally forgetting something.
Yeah, not the reskin. I'm talking just flamethrowers in general. So
yeah, I think it's
only 4 flamethrowers. He's only got the degreaser, he's got the backburner, and he's got the flog. I mean, each one does something different. They bring something new to the table for the Pyro to give him something to do, or just encourage him to keep spamming WM1. But, each one gives him something to work with. But, I mean, I'm not going to say anything, but I see one of 2 Pyros. I either see a WM1 Pyro, in terms of backburner and flog, or I see the Pyro main, and he only uses the degreaser. So with this heavy V Pyro war over, with Pyro winning it and now becoming president of the world. Oh God, help us all.
It's okay. Heavy will get his changes too.
Yeah, but in any case, I digress. But how do you as a Pyro main? What kind of weapon, if you could just like think of a weapon off the top of your head or something, what kind of weapon would you hope Valve brings into the table? Like, let's just say you got invited tomorrow. You know, let's just say Gabe Newell wrote you a letter. Oh, hey, Melonlord, why don't you come on by down to Valve HQ? And let's just say, you know, just off the top of your head, let's just say a random flamethrower. Let's just say, give us a random flamethrower, something, you know. You don't even have to give us the whole stats. Like, just a new mechanic. Let's like that. Let's think of that. A new pyro mechanic to make pyro or pyro's flamethrowers super awesome. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's so tough. I mean, would you say a new primary, or would you say like any pyro
like a new primary? Let's just start off with the flamethrower. Like, just say a new pyro flamethrower mechanic. You know, I mean, you got the flamethrower. I mean, you got your basic flame. You got the air blasting thing.
Well, I think the main thing is you got to make something that competes against the degreaser for the competitive pyro, and not just, you know, people that play competitive, but people that play pyro seriously enough to really utilize the quick switch and their secondaries.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with you there. I mean, pyro has mostly degreaser. That's pretty much it.
Well, it's almost kind of an essential. If you look at all the other pyro weapons, I think you kind of depend on that quick switch. So I think you need another primary that would rival the degreaser in the fact that maybe it has a similar switch speed or maybe a little bit less, but compensates it in some other aspect. I'm trying to think of. I mean, this is a lot of pressure. I'm not sure if I could show up to Valve and be like, here's the most balanced new flamethrower that a lot of people would use and use the degreaser, so you know they have some options.
Watch. Turns out tomorrow she actually does receive a personal message from Gabe Newell and invites him over.
I wouldn't reject it. That would be pretty awesome. Okay.
You know, let's talk about like some pyro mechanic, or I'm just gonna talk. I mean, you're the pyro expert here, but I'm gonna toss one out from my layman's perspective. But
all right, throw it out.
Let's just say a charged concussion blast. You know how strong not the concussion blast, air blast. There we go. Like, let's just say a charged up air blast. You know, instead of you fire off, you puff it once, and then if, like, say a rocket's coming at you, you know, it goes back at its person. But what if you were to charge it up and then unleash it, and then, you know, blast whoever's in front of you like 5 feet away instead of like 1 foot?
That's kind of a cool idea.
You know, how would you feel? You know, give us some. Let's go along that line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's totally something.
I mean, like, if Pyro had that kind of a that kind of a mechanic, you know, for his flamethrower.
I thought about something really broken. Okay, so I'm gonna throw this one out.
This is a debate. This is a debate. Let's talk about it.
It's cool, right? Okay, this is gonna be cool, but it's gonna be really broken. It would make a lot of people mad. But I mean, that's
Valve, if you're paying attention, if you're watching this, Valve, if you're watching this, pay attention. People are gonna hate it.
Okay,
that means people are gonna love it.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna put it in the game now. So, what if you had something with its compression blast would actually do like a very momentary stun, like a 0.3 seconds stop moving. But in that time, the pyro cannot switch, so it would be used purely as a team mechanism. So, you know, you can stun somebody for a second, but with the point that they can attack you before you're able to switch and kill them. So, you know, it would be like a teamwork kind of thing. But it would have a temporary stun rather than maybe like blowing them back and then being able to switch and kill them, or, you know, people don't like the fact that you can't really air strafe out of it, but this would literally just be a stop moving for a second. Well, not a stop moving, but like a, you know, they can't turn, they can't...
Like the scout baseball.
I don't know.
Like the scout baseball stun, something like that.
Yeah, I'm like over-explaining it a little bit too much. But yeah, it would be a very, very, very short one.
Yeah, remember. Try to simplify it. You know, we may have idiots watching this, so simplify it for the idiots.
But yeah,
like me.
That was it. I kind of like that idea, though, because it uses Pyro's ability as a utility class. You know, you're supposed to be working with your team, you're supposed to be the best friend class. But at the same time, it doesn't make it overpowered in the sense that, you know, a pyro can just run around stunning people and destroying them in that sense, too. It has to be something used in a very situational thing. But
Okay, so
at the same time, you don't have air blast, so that's a big sacrifice
yeah.
too.
There's the sacrifice. I was wondering,
Yeah.
like, okay,
You're
where's the
kinda missing
sacrifice?
something
Where's the
important.
sacrifice? Okay, so pyro flamethrower, concussion blast that stuns people like Sandman Baseball, for example,
Yeah,
and
it's kind of
foregoes
terrible. I'm
his
sorry,
air
guys.
blast. So, an even worse version of the flog.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
no.
terrible. But
Terrible, but this is what
A good
tactical
alternative.
debate is about. This is what tactical debate is about. We tackle the hard problems, think about them tactically, and then we all blame someone else for their
let me
problem.
piggyback off of your idea. So what if you use your air blast that can be charged up, which could be very good if used situationally, which is, a lot of what pyro is in a sense. So
Yeah, send the medic
piggyback
15
off of
feet
that.
into the air. Send medic 15 feet into the air. Get rid of his air charge.
But think about it in the sense like you're playing a 5 CP map, people are pushing in through a choke, and it's an exposed choke. You can blast them way back and allow your team to push in because they're so dislocated. Like, that would be awesome, just thinking about it in use like that. And I guess you can probably balance the gun, and, you would maybe lose a little bit of ammo count by using these really big air blasts.
But
Compensate it with quick switch. It could have quick switch. It could have reduced damage, kind of like the degreaser. But, it just gives another option that's a little bit different. Kind of like, you'd think of like soldiers' weapons, for instance. They're all like a little bit different in a way.
Yeah, each one makes you want to rage.
Yeah. Screw the direct hit, right, guys?
No, poor direct hit.
That's okay. I still think stock is the best. But,
No. I think anyone who can anyone who can hit with a direct hit definitely deserves a medal. I cannot hit shit with it. I mean, seriously.
if you just gotta play a lot of end diff and you get real good.
Yeah, I mean, just to digress away from the topic, but I cannot play direct hit soldier for shit. I mean, someone could be standing still, 2 feet in front of me, with their back turned to me, and I will somehow miss.
I guess that's the different thing about it. You're like thinking of it as if it's a rocket, like as a projectile, you're aiming at where they're going to be, but the direct hit basically is like, point at them. It's like hit scan almost in that sense.
Oh my god, yeah, but back.
Oh no, it's an adjustment.
Let's move back on. Let's roll back onto the topic train.
Okay. Topic.
All right, we've got our first weapon. Let's just say Valve actually, let's just say Gabe Newell. Oh, hey, why don't you come on down to Valve HQ, and and ignore the Half-Life 3 door. Let's ignore the Half-Life 3 door, and don't tell anyone. It's
that
still being
train's not
delayed.
getting started.
All right, but oh my goodness. But let's just say you actually got to pick the next weapons. All right, we talked about the flamethrower. We got our. We'll just roll with the one flamethrower with the concussion blast that blasts multiple people away like a farther distance. Let's roll with that one. All right, secondary.
Okay.
All right, secondary pyro weapons. Pyro doesn't have a lot of variety. He's got flare guns, and he's got the shotguns.
Well, I kind of agree with you in a way, but at the same time, I do think they've done a decent job at making, like, the sport shot and the detonator
they're all
somewhat valuable.
they're all different, but that's all he's got. Flare guns and shotguns.
Most people are using shotgun nowadays, too, with the switcher.
Let's see, you've got the reserve shooter, and that's it for the shotguns. That's it for pyro shotguns, besides stock. And then for flare guns, he's got, flare gun and detonator. And has anyone ever used the man melter? There's that one. There's that that random spawn of a demon that we don't want to pay attention to. Yeah, the man melter. There we go. Have you seen anyone even pick it up or do they just use it as a paperweight? Competitively in TF2,
I will
just
admit,
pub.
there are some times where I don't know, all the pyros in Platinum used to be kind of fun with each other, and sometimes we would do like goofy things in the middle of scrims, and there were times where man monsters would come out.
Do you and the other pyro
not
just
as a legitimate thing. Usually.
Okay.
I mean, Johnny, I'm pretty sure has used it a little bit legitimately, but it's just a downgrade from every other secondary you can use, and that actually includes even
poor man melter.
Yeah, unfortunately. But I mean,
I
it
mean,
does have its uses as well.
Valve tried to use it to compensate for the flog, but in the end, they made flog so powerful that why would you bother with Man Melter? Poor Man Melter.
I mean, they did make it as a pair, so you were
Yeah, they
supposed
made
to
it
be
as a
using
pair.
the
You were supposed to
flog, and
use
then the Man
flog
Melter,
and
so you
Man
could still
Melter.
air blast. Well, not air blast, but extinguish.
But then all they did was encourage Pyros to go, hey, here's a flamethrower. You get crits with it. You get free crits with it.
Oh yeah.
So go WM1 to your heart's content.
People still have fun in pubs. It's a great.
It's a great weapon. It's just not a weapon people want to be receiving on the other end.
That's true.
All right, so let's move on with the second one. Let's just say you were gonna make a secondary weapon. Like, actually, yeah, we should really start. Yeah, move on.
We got it.
4 minutes. Yeah. So secondary weapon. If you could make a secondary weapon for the Pyro, would you make it another flare gun, make another shotgun, or would you give us something new, something spicy to add to the Pyro?
Well, I thought about this one a bit, and legitimately, I did think about it a long time ago, and I had some decent ideas that I think a lot of us kind of brainstormed when we were writing the Pyro document. But since then, I've thought of some really awesome ideas. I mean, I think they might be viable, and they work with the kind of pyrotechnic theme that Pyro really has, and I think they need some variety outside of just flare gun, which is kind of like a projectile. You just, I don't know, it's kind of simple, and all of
flare
the
gun,
other flare like weapons, like the detonator and the squirt shot, they all resemble that kind of model, and I think it would be fun to do something almost like they have in Quake,
they just wanted
like
to
the
make
laser.
their job easier when it came to modeling, but that's just me.
Maybe. I mean, they do tend to keep things pretty similar, but so goes. Anyway, so my two ideas were maybe do something kind of like a laser gun. I know it's kind of a stretch for pyrotechnics, but it's not exactly, it doesn't really fall under any other class anymore. So yeah, it's like something that you aim directly. Maybe this would be even a sub for a primary, like it could be. And it has maybe a medium range, like in Quake or whatever. It's been a long time, so apologies if I get that wrong.
Quake people, assemble!
Does direct flame damage. Probably wouldn't have much afterburn, if any, but direct flame damage, that could be fun. And yeah, this would probably be more of a primary, I'm sorry. But secondary, it could shoot beams. Another idea that I have is maybe work with the idea of fireworks.
Fireworks.
Yeah, I know, it's like, it could go a lot of wrong ways, and I think people would hear it and be like, oh,
go a lot of wrong ways, but at the same time, it can go a lot of right ways.
I think it would have kind of the advantage of being somewhat hit scanny. It wouldn't be anywhere near a shotgun, but, just kind of think of an invisible shot kind of dets maybe 10 feet in front of them rather than being like a spread shot like the shotgun is. So maybe like a scatter shot that explodes a little bit away from them and does kind of what would be scatter damage.
Scattergun-esque.
Kind of. But, it's a firework, so it's going to do flame damage technically, but I think it would work in the kind of explosive shotgun-y
basically a cooldown. So basically a cooldown, something like the flying guillotine for the scout, And then he lights it up. He lights up the fireworks. He tosses them somewhere. They all explode. People scream.
Yeah.
Pyro giggles.
And it's something that always that's at kind of a set distance, not too close, not too far, but if it's within a mid-range
just
thing,
a sweet spot area.
Yeah, you can use it for maybe spamming
that Valve
chokes,
never seems to find.
It also just fills in Pyro's mid-range, which I think is a big problem with the Pyro class. And you talk about, people are really afraid about nerfs that could happen to Pyro because it's already very weak long to mid-range. And I think that aside from the shotgun, there's nothing really to compensate with that.
Some of the most rage for some people.
Yeah. You could have somebody going at you mid-range, and you could hit all your shots with shotgun, and that's going to be your best defense. But otherwise, you're kind of just eating it all. And with flare gun, too, you can spam people from afar, but realistically, if you were in a 1v1, you're not going to probably live long enough to flare them a couple times. So I feel like it needs a little bit more to compensate for what it really lacks in range, and the weapon would involve enough skill with its hits that it wouldn't just be kind of an auto compensate. You would definitely have to be hitting your shots still, but at least it gives you that option.
All right. Well, I'm afraid we're starting to run over our I think we're
That's
running
okay.
over our 20-minute time period for
Sorry.
our first turn, but it seems like we've got more to debate about this topic. So let's come back to this another time. So to everyone out there,
Okay.
I'm Imperatordavius. I welcome you once again to Tactical Debate, and this has been MelonLord. Say hello to everyone out there, MelonLord. Hey,
Hello again.
you've been being recorded. You didn't
Oh,
even know it. Woohoo!
I knew it. Come
Oh,
on.
no, you did. No, you did. This has been
All
secret.
right.
Secret tactical debate.
Secret.
But in any case, we'll see you all next time on Tactical Debate. Adios!